Abhishek. How are you? Can you hear me already? That's great. Welcome to the live stream. Hello. How are you today, Abhishek? So today I'm going to have a chat with you guys about why artists are poor and how to avoid being a poor artist. So I have my first hand experience giving up a conventional job as a biomedical researcher and pursue art. So I was quite naive about the financial parts of becoming an artist. Because this is not an easy thing to do financially. I mean, if you like to draw, then of course, if you like making art, then of course the making art part will be very enjoyable for you. But your wallet might not enjoy it that much. So I'm going to talk about why artists are poor. They have the stereotype of poor artist, starving artist. So I'm going to talk about it, why that would happen, and how to avoid it. And so first of all, can you guys hear me? Welcome to the live stream. Can you hear me well? Is my microphone working properly? Hello, welcome to the live stream. And speaking of money, I need to call the tax office tomorrow because it's on textings. Okay, clear. Perfect. Thank you for the sound check, Abhishek. And how was your week? We saw each other last Wednesday. Did you enjoy your weekend? And just a promotion for tomorrow's live stream, I will be going through some tips for making graphic abstract in PowerPoint. So if you're interested in that, make sure to check in the same time tomorrow. Oh, you went on a trip. Where? What kind of trip? There's something wrong with my... Okay, here. My control panel. Where did you go? What kind of trip? Hill Station. What is that? Did you go hike? Is that somewhere you can go hiking? Okay, so in the meantime, I will also start to share some my experience, some experience of mine about working as a full-time artist. So it is not easy because when you are making art, it is something new. And when something is new, there's no price. There's no price tag on it. And there's no market. So you need to find some way to sell your art, to convince people to buy it. That is very different from the typical product you can see on the markets. Because people are very familiar with those products. For example, groceries, people know they need to buy food. They need to buy milk, they need to buy water, they need to buy salt. these things have intrinsic value. So have people already know they need to spend money on these things, and if they don't pay for the groceries, they don't pay for the food, they would starve and die. So very naturally people would spend money on those things. But for art, it is not something people need every day. So it is a product that has more emotional value than practical value. In that case, it is hard to put a price on it, and it is hard to find people who would see the value in it. I mean, if your art is something that's very, you know, accepted by the public, then it is easy to find your market. But at the beginning, it is very difficult to, uh, show people that this is something they should spend money on. Uh, of course, when you make something, you should have the idea in mind that this is something valuable, and you would want people to appreciate your artwork with money. When you create something, if you want to make, um, you know, if you want to make art or any type of creation as your career, you have to have that in mind. I know there are many people who have the concept of that art should be pure, like the purest form of creation. You should not create things for the sake of money. Okay, in that case, you shouldn't make art as a full time job. Otherwise, where do you get your money from? Um, well, you can, but then you can make an art as a full time job without the intention of making a lot of money. That's actually what I've been doing for the past few years because I've been creating these contents on YouTube where scientists around the world can use them to create their research figures. So I wasn't operating on the premises that I would make a lot of money from it. So, um, yeah, if I have the idea that I need to make money from it, I wouldn't be doing it because it is not generating a lot of money. The things I've been doing. Um, so you could operate on that, but you will need other type of support. In that case, if you're creating art not for the sake of money, you need to find other financial um, support. For example, you need to have a maybe you need another full time job that pays the bill while you are working on your art endeavor, or you have a sponsor. The sponsor can be a art grant. That means it is like a scientific research grant, but they are paying the money to support some art project. You can find those grants through some government programs, or I think some museum also have that. There are artist villages in the Netherlands who also help facilitate artists for getting grants. So that's one way of having financial support. Another one is you would have a patron or many patrons. People have money and they want to support artists because they see the value in what you create. Yeah, I would say it's a form of, it's like having a sugar daddy or sugar mommy, but they're paying for the art. So these are the ways that you should, you know, tap into if you want to make art full time. and not for the sake of money. Okay. And it's very intuitive if you think about it. If you're doing an activity that's not for the sake of money, then of course you will not be able to earn money from that activity. It's very logical. Um, so when you're making an art piece, you should have the idea in your head that whether this is for acquiring money or not. I would do. I have that. I have that in my mind when I'm creating anything. So when I'm creating projects for my clients, it is for money, and I would not be too insisting on any type of personal expression. Okay, so it is purely for the technical work that can achieve the goal for my clients. And there's another type of work. Oh, my streaming is lagging. Okay. Oh, but it shows that my connection is going well. So maybe it is your internet. Abhishek, is it still lagging now? Okay. On the other hand, when I'm making contents for my YouTube channel, for tutorials, specifically for tutorials for making graphical abstract and scientific illustration, I make those not with the intention of making money. If you look at the view counts, they don't attract a lot of views. That means there's not a lot of ad revenue or sponsorship. So that is the projects that I do that's not money driven. Okay. So if you want to not struggle financially as an artist, you have to have both type of work. I know like for creative people, they need to create in order to feel comfortable in their life. So you need to keep a space where you create those artwork for the sake for your self expression. Okay. But then you also need to have the expectation that these artwork might not get you any money because they're very personal, and and if it's something that people never seen before, it's hard for people to put a price on it, and then it will be very difficult to earn any money from your personal artwork. And if you can use your skill to help companies like corporations or some clients who need to make some artwork for marketing purposes or for scientific publishing purposes, then those work can generate money for you. Okay, so keep in mind that there are two types of work as a creative person, and you need to set your expectation clear. You need to have a clear expectation before you go into these type of work. Okay. All right. Do you guys have any question? I also want to mention that people who graduated with a fine art, visual art degree has the lowest average income after graduation in the Netherlands. So that means if you study art, you're going to struggle financially, like relatively to people who study other degrees. It is expected. It is a fact in the statistics. So there are people who, I think last week someone asked me, is it financially wise to study scientific illustration or these type of like art degree type of degree? I would say if you want to make a lot of money, it is very risky. It is a very risky type of career to choose. If you have, if achieving financial abundance and success is a goal in your life, is that if it is an important goal in your life, it will be too risky to choose an art career. Of course, if you make a lot of money, you will make a lot of money. Okay. But most of the people are, as statistics shows, are living under basic income. So this is something that you really have to keep in mind before tapping into an art career. So I would really advise people to start any type of creative project, creative career as a side hustle. And if it starts to work very well for you, then you can slowly transition into the creative career. That would be my advice for a more financially comfortable way to move into an creative career. So it not only for like illustrations, but you can, if you want to start a YouTube channel, that's the same thing. I think it's a creative based career. It is very risky, so it's better to start as a side hustle and slowly move yourself to doing it full time, and instead of quitting your day job and go right into the career. What else? I would say being a scientific researcher is also a very risky career. Only I think like around, I read it. I forgot the statistics, but it is around only 1% of people who graduated with PhD could eventually become a full-time professor. So, in some way, being an academic scientist is also a very risky career. Um, I think this is something that more people should talk about. Um, I do think it is important to think about money when you are making any career move. It is important to make a lot of money. So I think it's less about showing off or anything. It's really that you need a lot of money to live a comfortable and dignified life. Um, like if you want to have your own place, like I'm not even talking about a big house. If you want to have your own apartment, um, you need quite a lot of money. You need a, and health bills. I think when people are younger, they think about these things less, but having a major health issue can be very costly. Um, People literally go bankrupt because they have major health issue. So you also need to prepare a lot of money for that. Sometimes if you have a family to take care of, you also you need even way more money. So if you want to take care of people around you, so I think these are the things that people really need to think about before they go into any type of creative career. Not only for making visual art, it could be starting a YouTube channel, it could be going into academic research, or starting a business. Like all of these things are quite risky. If you are successful, the reward is very high because high risk, high gain. Okay, I took a very high risk of going into a like to go for scientific illustration and also move abroad to the Netherlands. High risk, high gain. Okay, so what have I gained? Have I now have clients in three continents, like international clients, clients from the US, clients in Europe, and clients in Asia. And I have a YouTube channel monetized, and I also acquired the nationality of the Netherlands. So those are my gains. Like if I haven't taken those risks, I also learned how to open. I also learned how to establish my own company. Also acquiring my own clients, negotiating for prices. So these are the things that I gain from the experience of taking a risk. But I also made a lot of mistake on the way. So I really wasn't thinking about anything financially. So um, yeah, so I wasn't really like planning. I had no idea how to get a client at the beginning. Um, so it took me a longer time to recover financially because I choose to go for art career. I think if you have a more traditional career, for example, like if you go into medicine, um, law, accounting, those essential careers, essential skills, high paying essential skills, then it is easier to get a stable income and just you can mold into this societal structure easily, and the reward of that is feel you can get to a comfort level easily if you follow the rules and the expectation of the society. So that is what I gave up. So it was very scary at the beginning. It was very scary after I graduated with my scientific illustration degree, because I had no idea how to find clients, set the price, and also establish a company. But through the process, I learned it, and now I'm finally like finding a better footing. And so it does take a lot of time, and the stress was immense. It was immense stress. So that's what I think that's the thing that you there's no free lunch, as people say. So those are the things that I sacrifice, like a stable, predictable life and income. And what I gain is um, I have multiple client and multiple income streams, and I have a YouTube channel that I get to connect with people around the world. I find that very fascinating, and I enjoy it a lot. And also, I can do things on my own pace. There's no sometimes if you work for a boss or a company, there are a lot of crazy things that can happen between you and your colleagues and the boss. So, and there's no guarantee the boss will keep you for your entire throughout your career lifetime. There are layoffs and things. Unfortunate things can happen. So and those now I'm able to establish my own clients and grow my own business. So that's the things I gain. But it does takes a lot of resilience when things get difficult. How to stay calm and keep working on the things you believe in. Those type of things. Yeah. So, in summary, about why artists are poor and how to avoid financial setback. So why artists are poor? Because when you're making a creative product, it is something that's entirely new. So people don't know what the value of the artwork is, and people don't know what the price is. So that's the things that you need to um, that those things can prevent artists from acquiring selling their art. You know, because it is something new, so you need to put in effort into the marketing and sales of the artwork. And so it is not a stable income stream, and if you don't put a lot of work into it, you will not get any. You will not get any income. So, and there's no clear path of how you can find the buyer of your art. So all these difficulties that combines together can create difficult financial situations. Okay, that is why I think that is the reason behind why visual art graduates have the lowest average income after graduation among all the other degrees. And how to avoid this? How to avoid the financial downturn if you want to pursue an art career? So there are two ways. So I think the main key point, the main principle you need to have in your head is that it will take a lot of time for you to develop a client base. So during this time, you need to find other ways to support your artist endeavor. So either you have an traditional job that can get you paid while you develop your art career on the side, or you have a sponsor. So the sponsor can be an artistic grant or a patron. Like, for example, like back in the days in the Renaissance time, artists have rich people to support them. So, and this person can also be your spouse. you know, I see multiple scientific illustrators who are supported, who who are not the main breadwinner in their household. So maybe they have a software engineer husband. I know some of them. I know one of them has, and yeah, that's um, that's one of the way to go. Okay, so just have a right expectation. Just have a realistic expectation of how much time and effort it will take for you to make your art as a way of living, and find your support and sponsor whenever the opportunity shows up. Okay, so that will be my advice on sharing. That will be my advice on how to avoid having financial setback as an artistic person. All right. Do you guys have any questions? Oh, I got a question from someone in Instagram DM. Okay, this is not a question that's related with the topic today. But I will answer it tomorrow or later. I'll just DM it. Victoria Visser, hello, welcome to the live stream. How are you? How do I find clients? Okay, so I'm a scientific illustrator. So most of my clients are people who work in academia or pharmaceutical companies. Before I become a scientific illustrator, before I become an art, before I focus on creating art, I was a biomedical researcher. So I was working in a lab that studies heroin addiction treatment. Because of that, I have a network of people who work in the who works in academic research and pharmaceutical industry. That's how I find clients. My clients are people from my previous network. Most of my clients. Most of my clients are people who already know me before I start doing art. So I think if you want, I think if you want to go, if you want to establish your clients, who you know, it is extremely important. Do I reach out to them or they see things that you post and ask for commission? Um, I I mostly just post things on my social media, on my page, let them know that I'm doing this, and they come to me when they need my help. I don't push too hard on on trying to sell my products. Maybe I should do more. I know some of my classmates are, like they're very business driven, so they reached out to a lot of people on LinkedIn before graduation. I think maybe they have more clients, but you never know. You never know what's happening with other people's household. Lisa, hello, welcome. Welcome to the live stream. I had a classmate whose name was Lisa. Are you her? How much of the income is made from freelance work versus your hospital job? I would say 50-50. 50-50. Some months I make more from my own business. Sometimes I make more from my my previous job at the clinic. Victoria, what is your background? And Lisa, what is your background? Are you both planning to become an artist full time? I think the thing is, I know some there I know some people, some medical illustrators are doctors, and then they go acquire a medical illustration degree. I'm not sure how much they would because operate on this because they are because in different country they how doctors works differently. In the Netherlands, most of the GP, I'm talking about GP, not specialist. Most of the GPs are freelancers. So they are able to organize, they're able to decide how much they want to work per week. And a lot of them work 4 days per week. So the rest of the time they can develop their own thing if they want to. I wish I was born here in the Netherlands. I wish I was like. I wish I would. I grew up in the Netherlands, and so then I probably will focus on getting a medical degree and do like part time practicing and part time art. I think that's a better way to do it. But The downside of that is, um, from my experience working at the GP's office, it is very, it is a job with high responsibilities. So even if you clocked out from your work, your patient might have some conditions, and you know, you, you can't just leave them there. I mean, like that could be that happens. That's often the case. But if something happens to that patient and you're the one who treated them, on the other day, and even if you're not on call, I think there will be it will be there's a lot of legal responsibility that's involved. So yeah, I'm not I'm not sure like having a medical career plus an art career would work, but some people can make it work. Victoria, I just finished a master in immunology and interest in doing master of biocommunication next year. Oh, okay. And you mean you want to do the degree in Toronto? That's the name of the Toronto program. What the lifestyle is like? Oh, okay. What do you imagine the lifestyle is? Then I can make vlogs about it. There are a lot of specialties in medicine that are more hands off, but yes, a lot of responsibility. Yeah, like you can get sued. And have you guys worked in clinical setting? Have you guys have experience in that? It is quite intense. I think that anything that's involved with human is difficult to deal with. Have you guys just seen a viral video footage of the some like Italian healthcare workers uh, block blockade their office door because the family members of a deceased patient is trying to break in and take revenge on the healthcare workers. That's not dramatic at all. That can happen in hospitals. Emotions are really high. Well, this is one of the reason that doctors are getting paid a lot because, I mean, like after all, it is yeah, it is a high risk job, and the things they need to deal with is very complicated. In Toronto, okay, good luck. Um, they're quite competitive in the application process. Have you reached out to some people who already, like some alumni who is studying at the in the program? And what is your plan? What's your imagination about the lifestyle of a scientific illustrator? Like what if you want to do it, I think you have an you think this can make your life better. And so, what aspect of the lifestyle of scientific illustrators makes it attractive? For lifestyle, what does a day, week in your life look like? Imagining that you do a lot of work from home. Yes. Now 100% from home. Fully remote. I can also do work from anywhere in the world. Because sometimes I go back to Taiwan. I can also do work from there. And oh, I was on a holiday in Greece, Santorini, most beautiful place in the world. One of the most beautiful places in the world, in my opinion. And somehow all of my clients resurfaced when while I was there on the Greek island. I could just, but I can work from there. So I think that's one the benefit of. I don't know. Now I think about it, this is something that a lot of people envy, that you can work alone without colleagues or a boss, and you can work everywhere in the world. Let me see. It seems you can use a lot of your knowledge in YouTube teaching in other jobs. Um, okay, what do you mean? Like knowledge in YouTube teaching in other jobs? Like you mean this is a very transfer the skill sets we have is very transferable to different industries? I think so. If that's what you mean, I would agree because um because basically we have the skills for content creations if you think about it, and it is a skill set that can be applied in marketing, and for sure, and every company needs marketing materials. So yeah, it's quite transferable. And if you know how to make designs, like either digitally or traditional medium, you don't you don't need to restrict yourself in only working for scientists. For example, I one of my main client at the moment is a machinery company. So I'm also drawing these mechanical blueprints, basically mechanical design diagrams. They pay way more than a lot of the academic projects, so I can gladly take them. In that sense, yes. But on the other hand, these I think on the long term, I'm not sure. Okay, like I don't worry about myself because I I have multiple income streams, and I have a plan to reach, like, I want to be very rich, okay? And I have a plan for that. So I don't think about it too much. But if you're because I have my own company, you know, but if you are someone who prefer to be an employee, um, these graphic design, content creation skills are not I don't think they are valued that to the point where you can make this to the same level of income as a medical specialist or a lawyer. Like, unfortunately, people do have a concept of prestige in different occupations. That's just how the society works. So if you are someone who is having a having prestige is important in your life, then if um, I think doing a design work would not it's hard to get you that type of prestige. But if you're very good at marketing yourself, branding yourself, I don't know, then work for high end clients. If you know how to play the game, you can. I think you can also get there. It's just a different set of games. What is a day and week? of my life look like? Oh yeah, maybe I should make some. Oh, maybe I should make some vlog about it. I really want to make vlogs about it. But I'm like slowly crawling out of my depression era. Thank you guys a lot. Actually, thank you. I thank you guys because, um, actually, like creating these YouTube channel, creating a YouTube video helped me a lot to get through very difficult times. So like I can feel like I am getting much better, and yeah, when I'm ready, I will create vlogs. I've been in my depression era for too long. And it would be so like it would be so it'd be so boring that if I just like depressed in my bed for the entire day. That's not very nice to show. And also not very informative. Like when I make a vlog, like to I like to give good energy. Why are you in your depression era? Well, not anymore, but I was for many years. It was the worst period of my life after deciding to pursue art. Worst period of my life. Hope you feel better soon. I'm already feeling much better than many years ago. Uh, why were I in my depression era? It's related to the topic of today's live stream. Why are artists poor? Very grateful for my content. Thank you. I'm very grateful for you guys. As I said, having this YouTube channel really helps me a lot. Through it's hard to put it, but maybe I'll just like slowly organize my thoughts, and yeah, you guys will see it through the content. Because I think social connection is very important, but as artists, as people who are, I think you guys can get this because all of you, I assume all of you guys are creative people and who have artistic temperament. I think we are sensitive to what's happening around us, especially like about other people, at least in my case. So other people's, I don't want to talk like, these very woo woo guru thing, but unfortunately I have to explain this way, but other people's energy is very contagious to me. So like for the longest time, while I was growing up, it is always very overwhelming to be in a group. But unfortunately, like if you I think like when we human are growing up, we are forced to be growing up in a group setting. So like for example, going to school, and then you're expected to like, you're expected that you have to get along in a group, and that type of things. So that's putting on a lot of mental toll. Anyway, so that I tend to like to avoid people. Yeah, but social isolation is really bad, and it gotten worse after I moved to the Netherlands because like basically I knew no one. um, yeah, and being at art school is also very uh it's not very fun, I would say. Okay, there are fun parts, but um there are people who are crazy. There are a lot of crazy people in art school. I think there are crazy people everywhere, but um I think that there are different type of crazy in science and in art. And in art, people are people are not very rational. They go with feelings a lot. So if they feel like you are copying their work, if they feel like, they will attack you. And if they feel like they need to compete with you for whatever reason, they will make up all the schemes to compete with you and make your life horrible. So that's what I see more in art school than in scientific school. So yeah, I moved to the Netherlands, and yeah, social isolation, and then uh, I used to think that like, avoiding people helps, but actually it doesn't, because um, it kind of, if you have some thoughts, then it will just ruminate it, and then basically like all your worst problems will show up when you're alone. Okay, so it's like a double-edged sword. So either you face your worst enemy, which is your own thoughts, or or you just, either you can like go confront it, or you just avoid it with other way. So anyway, so like social isolation, that makes me more depressed, after moving to the Netherlands. And then also, because of studying art, graduating with art, then I didn't know how to make money with art, because nobody in my family have ever done that. They are not business people. So they are both, they're all researchers, so they just live a very compliant life, and other people employ them and give them money. They never needed to go out and sell any product. So I just didn't have the skill set or the knowledge to do any of that. That's why it became very scary, because I literally didn't know where I can get money from. And like, so although my housekeeper is like moving around. Did your program in Netherlands teach you about marketing and licensing and selling your art? Oh, I will answer that. But I'll wrap up really quickly. So it was really scary, like not only financially, but also, because of social isolation, it makes everything worse. Because, like back in Taiwan, at least I have network in my scientific research job, so it's easy for me to find another one. But in the Netherlands, nobody knows me, so it's just a drastic difference in how scarce the opportunity they they would offer me here, because nobody knows me. So yeah, that just became really stressful. So that was like depression era. Like, it was so dark. So dark. Um, but I have gotten out of it. Okay, but come back to why I said you guys helped me a lot through the process, because this is why I love social media, because I actually can socialize with people and find people who at least like on the same frequency via my YouTube channel. Just like now we're chatting here, and we're probably like having the same experience in some way. So we can just like, at least it's just like having a chat with friends will help you mentally, and also you compare thoughts with each other's, and know that, okay, you're not crazy feeling like this, and or some problems you're facing, you're not alone. Everybody is facing these. So I get to experience that through my YouTube channel and through you guys. So it really helps me a lot in getting out of my depression era. And I would I would say that I'm a very happy person now. I know what happiness is, because I've been through so low. So I know what unhappiness, like to the extreme, is. So I also know what happiness is. I know what makes me happy. And yeah, I'm not depressed anymore. I will never be depressed. Okay. Okay, let me go through your guys' comment. Victoria, did your program in the Netherlands teaches you about marketing, licensing, and selling your art? They do have a module, and I would say they did their best. Okay, I'm not saying this in a criticizing way. I'm just laying out the fact. Okay, they did their best, which is also very important, like what they taught us. So what the professor taught us how to make a quote for the clients, and did a like a and they did a like a mock negotiation. So you need to make a quote. Do you guys know what quote is? So a quote is a proposal for the price of your artwork, of your illustration in this case. So you just make up a quote, and then they also teach you the format and what you need to include in a quote, and then you send it to the professor. Then the professor will pretend to be a client, and then he will bitch about it a little bit. So then you need to find ways to withstand the bargaining, and eventually make arrive at an agreement on the price. So that was the marketing licensing module, the business module. I think it is the most they can do, because they also don't want to be too bitchy. The person didn't want to like be the actual horrible clients, Otherwise, if some people cry, then he will get a complaint to the educational committee. So they cannot go too far. But other than that, they didn't teach us much about how to establish a company, because when we asked them, they just say that, oh, just go to the Chamber of Commerce. I was like, okay, but how do we do that step by step? They didn't know. They didn't teach us. Right. So there, I think they could teach more, but it is also something that's very difficult to teach, So I didn't blame them. Okay, Harrison, let me get to you. My post-grad experience was similar in that my master classmates were temperamentally very different from an undergraduate, even though a proportion of them study biology. It's therapy session. Yeah, it's so important to surround yourself with people you vibe with, people who are on the same frequency. And I think most of the people we meet in real life are not. And I think the scariest thing about, I wouldn't say scariest, but is it scary? Yeah, it is. So most of the people does not tell you what they think. Which I understand, because they might have thoughts that's bad, or they think it's rude. But most of the people would, like socialized people, they would keep their mouth shut, and in some way, I mean, it's social courtesy, of course, but also at the same time, it prevents us to knowing who actually have the best interest, for ourselves. Because if you don't know what they're actually thinking, then sometimes you would spend too much time with people who actually don't have your best interest at heart, or they simply don't care about you. I think most of the cases, people just simply don't care, or they don't know what you're talking about. They don't understand. I think that's most of the cases. Like, I think 99% of people you meet in life would be that's the case. What I love about social media is that I know everybody shows up here is interested in talking with me. Either either you are attracted by the topic of the live stream, or you have been watching my video for a while, so you know, like, we vibe, or you're here to troll. That's also very fun. I love the trolls. So yeah, but just in some way, it's just not people who are indifferent, you know. So I actually love to socialize on social media more than in real life. Yeah, this is also what helps me a lot with my getting out of my depression era, because I can see that, oh yeah, there are actually people who are on the same frequency. It can be quite, it's quite jarring in real life if you think about it. Like, you go out and about, and just most of the people don't even acknowledge you, you know. So I think it's quite important to find people who actually see you, and you know, at least like you know, you like, you can talk about things with. Uh, Everybody should be able to find people like that. I think that makes life livable. That's one of the main things that can get me out of depression. Like, after I um like I'm always like, after I'm like 100% myself and really know like who I vibe with, and cut down my times with people who I don't vibe with at all, and stay away from them, then my mood just improves. So like, it's really important to surround yourself with people you like, good energy, positive people, and people who, you know, people who has a positive outlook of life, and not making small deals out, like not making a big deal out of trivial things. That's my experience of how to want to live again, basically. And just like also doing things like you find important. All right. I need to go to have a dinner with someone who works in AI, who works in the AI industry, because I have some question I want to ask her, and discuss it with. Like, we're going to have taco and cocktails. I'm so excited. So what kind of questions do you guys have, and or any thoughts? You know, just let me know, and I can make a future live stream out of that topic. I definitely want to make vlogs about my daily life. It is getting there. Um, Let me get my. So this is my Discord channel. So if you guys have any ideas, you can, you know, just let me know in a Discord channel, and I can make them into a future live stream topic. Or do you guys still use Facebook? I also made a Facebook group. So this you can also put questions in here. And I live stream every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday around this time. So on Monday, I talk about money related thing or business related things. And then on Tuesday, it's Art Tuesday. So mostly art tutorials on Tuesday. Hello, Alexander. Long time no see. How are you? And on Wednesday, it's Science Wednesday. So I think I will start to watch some science videos because I did a poll the other day. Most of you guys are more interested in science content than art content. Yeah, so that's what I will be doing on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Um, and if you guys have any questions, suggestions, you can always let me know in the comments, in Discord, or in the Facebook group. Yes, long time no see. Where have you been? Join both. Awesome. Thank you so much. Harrison, what would you like me to talk about? Like besides mooncake and getting out of depression and how horrible my life was back then. My life is much better now. I guarantee you guys. Maybe I should make a vlog about it. Like I promise you my life is much better now. Nothing much right now. Okay, just let me know when you guys have any idea. Yes. And also like what I notice is it is so much easier to do things, to achieve things when you are in a good mood. I used to think the opposite. I used to think that you have to be miserable in order to achieve a goal. That's not true. Okay, it's and like achieving a goal doesn't make you happier. Like making more money doesn't make you happier. Well, making more money will make me happier, but like when you get a lot of money, that doesn't make if you are depressed already, if you have a shitty mental state, no amount of money will make you happy. No amount of money will get that away. That's for sure. So like happiness is really independent from achievements. So just be happy right now and do the things you find important. You're writing a manuscript. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of work. Have you finished it? That's one of the reasons I leave academia. Like I really have no patience in writing. And I really cannot write in an academic way. I can't. It is just so emotionless. I cannot. Oh, by the way, I'm going to have taco. Alexander, I'm going to have taco later tonight with like a AI, someone who works in AI, and I think you're from Peru, right? Taco is something that's from Mexico. Okay, and tomorrow I will be showing you guys some tips and tricks of making graphic abstracts in PowerPoint. So if you guys are interested, welcome to join me. And if you know someone who might need to learn how to make graphic abstract in PowerPoint, also let them know. I will be live streaming today, showing you guys some tips and tricks of making graphic abstract in PowerPoint. That's what I do on Art Tuesdays. I do more tutorials on Tuesdays. I'm trying to edit more videos. I have a lot of contents, but I just get back from Greece, so I'm trying to get everything back on track. Also, I have a lot of clients last week. Yeah, many things are going on. Hello, everybody. Hi. Okay. So, all right. I really need to go because not only I have an appointment, I am also hungry for the tacos. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow again around the same time. Okay? Have a nice evening, everyone.